Good morning to you, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brandon Hardison, President of Champion Strategies, for another edition of Hardison's Tips. Glad you can make it. I know you're trying to get yourself together to get out the door and go make it happen. So let's get to it. Today we're talking about value added selling. You probably heard that term, very familiar, especially recently. Value in you. So, value added, that word used to be a cliche in business circles, but then we started to really take a look at it and looked at representatives who are going for the dealer principal, who are going for the group, and they're the first line of contact that a customer sees. So when we speak of dealerships, I want you to think of about six dealer principals, general managers, and if you were to have them in a room like a focus group and you ask them, well, what do they think about value added? I guarantee you it's going to be more related or defined to the guest centric value of the dealership and not the employee showing value. I guarantee you. And here's the reason being. Many times, right from orientation, we fail to make sure that those employees understand that they are the epitome of whatever that general manager dealer group is trying to do. So it shouldn't be that puzzling that they're the representatives, whether they are the receptionist, the salespeople, the service advisor, whomever greets that guest, they have to show value on who they are, how they approach it, their tonality, their attitude, the whole 9 yards. So when we stick to value added just as salespeople, that we often overlook this value is because we're running through the processes so fast to get to what we consider showing the guest the numbers. Many times we skip out some very important steps because we're trying to get to the numbers. And that makes a bad experience for the guest that is visiting the dealership. So, going forward, I'd like you to think about the future of this industry. How we power the vehicles are going to be different. Some dealerships will not be there anymore. They're going to be no more than just like refueling or docking stations for some of these electric vehicles because there'll be nothing but computers on wheels, but they still need to be serviced and sold another one by a real representative. So, how you present yourself representing that organization goes a long way, not only for today's sale, but in that customer's mind when you're doing my service and also for that next sale. So, these are things that are thought about in boardrooms, brought out to HR, into orientation, and this is what we're going to do. But I'm taking it all the way down to the frontline people who make that first impression. And that's again the sales consultant, service advisor, or the receptionist. So, with that said, why must sales consultants or service advisors excel at being good at this value added? By being good at it, specifically value added sales, it not only enhances their ability to create more positive business, but it also puts them in a position where they're an expert. Here's what I mean. When people like, trust, and respect the salesperson, they start to listen as a professional to your advice. And that's where you always want to position yourself. We can't sell percent to everybody, but Can we get referrals from people that we did not sell to? Now, if you're thinking the answer is no, you're way off base. But you have to do something to earn it, and that is master the basics. If you can master each one of these separate road to the sale steps, from the greeting all the way down, I call it your job description. If you can master these steps, customers will see value in how you're presenting your organization to them. And it's no secret, your brother or sister in this automotive family, whatever market that you're in, yeah, I guarantee you they're missing some of the points. Not saying that they're bad people, someone just haven't trained or continually coached them on why this type of behavior is so conducive to customers who are looking for a customer centric place to share their hard earned money with. Now, if some of this makes sense to you, we will talk about some more things on the next edition. But value, because if you, as a representative on the sales side, cannot show the value and you're not listening, usually you've already been put in a category. Now, value is not the key, it's the risk. It's the risk that the customer is going to be making in this next largest investment outside their condo or their home. And when risk comes in, usually that's when that P word, price or payment, starts to rear its ugly head. So think about the consumers, think about yourself, think about the value you bring as a professional. And when you do that, value does outweigh the risk. If the value is not there, now the customer is thinking, do I have to pay this amount from this dealership here? Can I put it off until another time? Can we? And that's all part of that buyer remorse, which we can talk about later. But once again, President Champion Strategies, Brandon Hardison, knowing you got to get to work, I got to get to work too. So, as always, and leaving, you go out there and make it a champion day.